Good evening and welcome to round one action of AM2 Contest of Speed. This is Burzy J commentating with Perry the Dog and DK88 Amp. Thank you for joining us this evening. Currently on track, SRS Ram and our Kaka 8, as well as Porch Power, iFunner, and Rum Fresh.
How you doing tonight, Burzy?
I'm good. How are you, DK?
I'm alright. I'm excited for this race here.
I'm very excited for this race. I think it'll be good. I think everyone's gearing up, ready to go.
Yeah. Let's see here. Your weather report.
So our Kaka was the first one up.
You guys clear?
We can hear you there, Perry.
Okay. Just a little disconnect, but alright. See, qualifying underway here from Spain for America's Tier 2. I'm paired at Dog 6, along with Burzy and DK. So how are you guys tonight? It should be a great race. We've already had a couple of great runs at Barcelona.
We're doing well this evening. We're excited for Tier 2 action to get underway. Alright.
We got Amram on his out lap, getting ready to start a lap here. I'm having a commentator from the stream, guys, so if I'm a little behind everybody else, please bear with me.
Oh, I think we lost Perry.
I don't think so. Perry seems to be having internet connection issues. Burzy, if you don't mind giving me a how much time is in qualifying right
now? We've got 13 to 28 remaining in the session.
Oh geez, I'm like a whole minute behind.
Oh. All right. So SRS AMRAM sets the fastest lap so far, with a 16.5 on the mediums. DK, would you say that the medium to hard strategy will be the play for this evening?
I would say so. That's typically what I would prefer, just because I'm very terrible with my tire wear. But I would say these guys with maybe not as good as experience as some people, I would say that would be the preferred strategy for them. Medium to hard. Or maybe even medium to soft. Some people could pull that off, maybe.
I don't think a medium to soft will work. That would be a miracle for medium to soft, but I think for sure they could probably do a two-stop medium soft. But I guess we'll kind of see what all the drivers are thinking here. We'll see who's done their homework going into round one.
You can tell I haven't done my homework.
Oh, that's quite all right. All right, let's jump on board with. Let's go see. Actually, we'll go back to Rogue here. Rogue is on a hot lap currently. Just entering into Sector 2. Running a little bit wide there. Now, our indications are that it's going to be a completely dry race. And it's a sun to light cloud for the race, and so that'll be kind of nice. These drivers don't have a lot to worry about in terms of weather. They can just focus on getting pedal to the metal and focusing on some clean competitive racing.
Yeah, that'd be good. It'd be a good indication for the rest of the season with it being dry this race, since their practice race was in the rain.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a tough challenge with practice being in the wet, but I think it was a good taste for the drivers to get some wet running under their belt and kind of see who's got the pace in wet weather conditions.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight.
Alright, who else? So P-Dog has just come out of the pits and he'll eventually get going. I'm on board with Bomb Tree currently as he's on a hot lap. Oh, and losing it coming out of turn 4 there, so hopefully he can recover, get back to the pits.
I would say Amram, SRS Amram, he might be getting a little bit extra practice in this qualifying session because he's getting the call up to Tier 1 tomorrow night to replace Wingit in the Renault, who will unfortunately be missing. But I would say he's getting some extra practice, I would say.
Yep. No, that'll be good. It'll be good experience for him to get in there with the guys up in Tier 1 after this evening's race, and it'll be great practice for him tonight for rolling into next week as well, or tomorrow night's race as well. He does seem to be one of the faster drivers based on our practice session we had last week, so it'll be interesting to see how he does this evening. Alright.
I'm just seeing Bomb Tree spin out here.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It was unfortunate, but I think he'll be able to recover and get back out. I think I'm gonna jump over to Bodhod quickly. Oh, sorry, wrong. All right, head over to. I think the biggest thing for a lot of these drivers is just making sure that they're racing hard, but they're racing clean. Like we definitely want to see clean racing as we go along here, so it'll be a test for some of these more inexperienced drivers, just kind of making sure they're giving space and they're aware of their surroundings and where they're putting their car as they go along into the race weekend. Don't want to end up like Grosjean this past race at the British Grand Prix where he's moving his car all over the place. So unfortunately for our viewers at home, we are having some issues with our telemetry right now. Perry's having some connection issues, so we'll be without our telemetry at the moment.
Alrighty. I'm gonna hop into the lobby.
Alright, sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Who is currently... I think so right on board with Seagrass. So I'm curious to see, DK, with a lot of these drivers setting quite a big gap in times on the softs. I'm curious how many of them just did a banker lap, and now we'll see a lot more of the drivers come out on the mediums near the end of the session to set a time.
Well, I'm just now getting into the lobby. Let me get set up here, and I'll give you an opinion.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say a lot of these drivers on the softs, if they went out on the softs to set a lap, I'd say that is what they're going to start on, especially in the top 10, obviously. But
so
a lot of these medium runners definitely may have set a banker lap, may go to softs.
Now I'd love to see in the chat who we think our predictions for taking pole in this qualifying session are. Andrew sets a new fastest lap there of a 16.4 on the softs. So I'm curious to see if he can improve his time on the next go around. There we go, fastest lap. Alright. So drivers yet to complete a lap. Cream Media, X-Bomb, Kano, P-Bug, JP and Bodhod.
Connor is on a lap right now, heading down the second Dura Straight.
Yeah, okay, we're
So
riding
he
on
will
board
be
with him
the
right now.
first one as the Ferrari gets out of his way nice.
Kano, a fellow commentator, does a fantastic job, along with Kit and Petter, and Bodhod doing the AM1 races for us on the Wednesday night races.
As he
Right.
comes across the line, fourth fastest with a 16.7 on the mediums.
Yeah, that's a respectable time. Great
Just
job.
with time compared to Andrew on the softs.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty close.
Absolutely. Alright, let's hop on board. Portage.
Oh, Bodhod loses it on his flying lap. Oh,
Ah, shoot. That's unfortunate.
Bodhod not having the best of luck right now, especially not being able to put in a time yet with 5 minutes left. So he's going to be rushing it back to the pits. Or maybe just cleaning off his tires and go again.
I'm on board with RJP. So things are looking good as he clears through the final chicane, coming out across the line here. Runs out of ERS. But he sets a 1:17.0 on the medium, so that was a great time for him too. It's pretty tight here along the top 6 drivers. We're separated by only half a second, so that's not bad. Like, I think as we go along and we get out for the final runs, we'll see some really competitive times start to show.
It's pretty interesting to see how close they are to Andrew again on the softs. It's almost wondering if, like, you know, maybe if they will go out on the softs, if they want that pole bad enough, or if they're just happy with where they are on the mediums. Because I'm like you, I do think the medium hard strategy, as far as the like track position wise goes, will be the best strategy.
Oh, totally.
Let's see what Bodhod is doing. Bodhod is starting another lap on the same set of tires, so
okay. We'll
this will be
board
his
with him
last
here.
chance. Coming out to where he spun the last time out of this corner. Sets a purple sector 1. Good for Bodhod as he comes up. And the guys on the cars here, hopefully they stay out of his way as he goes purple again in sector 2. So looking for a pretty good lap from Bodhod here. To the final chicane. Powers up to the line, and he will set a 16.2 on the mediums. That is a great lap
That was a fantastic lap for
on the
Bodhod.
mediums.
Way to recover from that earlier mistake and losing it into the wall and gathering himself, getting composed, and putting together a solid lap. As SRS Amram sets the fastest lap of the session with a 15.8 on the mediums. That is a quick time. He's in for the race today.
Yep.
Hop through
I
here.
wouldn't count out.
Sorry?
I was just saying I wouldn't count out P-Dog yet. He is yet to set a lap, and he's currently on an out lap. Trying to get around to the line. P-Dog showed some speed to at the end of last season, especially in Hungary, where I had a pretty good battle with him. So he is he's getting quicker.
I'm on board with Andrew. It's fresh here. Coming through the final chicane. Oh, losing the rear end a little bit one of his curbs, and he aborts the lap.
He invalidated on the right hand of the chicane. So that'll be his qualifying over. Bodhod's in, so that'll be it for him.
I'm on board with Gru as he just comes around after the second DRS zone here, coming into sector 3.
Bit all right there. Comes to the line. And only 2 position gain there. So Gru will be looking to make some ground in the race. Let's got.
I'm on board with young DJ coming around on the softs. See if he can improve upon his time.
Watching.
I know.
Kano and P-Dog will be the next two to set a lap as qualifying comes to a close. P-Dog comes to the last chicane.
Yeah, we'll get on board with P-Dog here.
Come to the line. And he will go second fastest with a 16.0.
Wow.
So
Great lap.
Lil Amram be the only one in the 15s on the mediums too.
And it looks like Kano wasn't able to improve his time.
No man, he's stuck in the gravel right now. Maybe that's his AI. There we go. Yeah. And Cream Media comes across the line. He will stay P10.
Folks, for coming around the final corner as well now. See if he can improve on his 17.4, and he does with a 16.8. So great recovery drive for him, getting up to P7. Should be a solid spot for him to start in the race.
Yes.
All right. Porch is on the lap. RJP is in the pits. Is P-Dog out for another run here, or is he just, he's just limping it back to the pits?
I think he's limping it around.
Let's see who's the next car behind him. Oops. We've got our Kaka coming across the start-finish line here. And he goes 8th fastest with a 16.8. So great lap for him as well.
I think that'll be qualifying over because Portage is going to dive it into the pits.
Yep.
And that'll be it.
That'll be it. I don't know about you, DK, but I think that was a solid first qualifying session for the AM2 drivers here.
Yes. I think the Bam Bam back in P16 kind of surprises me, being very dominant in the practice race last week, but it was in the wet. But tracks being different tracks, this could not be one of his better ones.
No, absolutely. Everyone's got their strengths. Nice thing about Spain is it is a mixture of slow corners and fast corners and technical sections, so it's kind of a nice test for the drivers to kind of see who's got skills in certain areas of their driving and who can maximize the most out of their car on track.
Yes. The 3 I predicted to be up front well, I would say 5 I would say are where they're at. So it's good for them as
totally.
Qualifying stuck on 1 second here.
Yeah.
I think the guys in the pits need to retire.
Yeah, I think all the drivers that are on track just need to retire, and then we should be good. Yeah. Who is on track? So yeah.
I'm pretty sure they got the checkered flag beside their name. They're good. It's the ones in the pits that need to retire.
All right, going through the chat here.
There we go. Alrighty, so the first qualifying session of AM2 Season 6 is complete, with Amram setting a 15.8 on the mediums. We'll start P1, followed by P-Dog Peyton, Bodhod, Andrew is Fresh, Segrist, Kano, Rogawing, Arkaka, Nels are in RGP F1. Bit of a all will start on the mediums except the two on softs, which is Andrew is Fresh and Nels. Pretty interesting that everybody in the top 10 is on mediums. Surprisingly,
Yeah,
just about it.
yeah, just about. I think it's interesting. A lot of them may be watching the EU2 race earlier this afternoon, or just doing their homework. But I think with the medium to hard being the preferred one-stop strategy here versus a two. But I mean, maybe they are thinking they're still going to do a two-stop and they'll go a medium, medium, soft. It's hard to say. But those soft runners, Andrew and Nels, they're gonna have to jump out and take advantage of being on those softer compound tires and get ahead as fast as they can before their tires start to wear out.
Yes, and I wouldn't count out a safety car in this first race either.
Yeah,
People
no doubt.
still first race jitters, anything can be, mistakes
So Claude
could be
Prez in
made.
the chat, our contest of speed zone, Juventus is predicting a one safety car, one VSC, and Perry's saying ironically EU3 was a two stopper. So we'll see here, especially if some safety cars in the mix, that creates some interesting strategies as we get into here, as we get into this race. We'll take the time here to do a little plug, so you can find Contest of Speed EU3 on Mondays at 10 p.m. British Standard Time. EU2 is on Tuesdays at the same time, followed by America's AM2, which is what you're watching right now at 9 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday night. And then Wednesdays. Oh, where are we? I'm having a. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Let me finish. Wednesdays will be EU1 at 10 p.m. British Standard Time, followed by America's Tier 1 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Thursdays, we have our brand new EU4, which is also at the 10 p.m. British Standard Time. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow along for Contest of Speed action every week.
Oh no. Run Fresh disqualified.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Oh, is that from not getting away on the formation lap?
I'm not sure. That's interesting.
He is still sitting on the pit straight.
I wonder if maybe he made contact and it just put him right onto the... Oh, he's like in the pit straight. Or no, like I wonder if he put him on the grid if he bumped into someone here during the formation lap.
I think it would just put him on the grid. I don't think it'd disqualify him if he just hit him. That's crazy.
Wow. Well, hopefully he's able to compete.
Drama already here in M2.
One of the AlphaTauri held up a racing point. Okay. So that's what happened there. Something happened. Alrighty. As SRS Amram pulls around the final corner, pulls up to the grid, and we're about to get underway. DK, who do you feel is going to come away with a victory today?
I'm going to go with our pole sitter here. He showed a quick lap in qualifying, being the only one in the 15s on the medium tire. But he can't count out the two behind him either. They're big championship contenders in my opinion, so they're gonna be ones to watch.
Absolutely. All right. Here we go. As we get the 5 lights. And it's lights. Oh. We get the glitch.
Wait for it. And away we go.
There we go. All right, it's a wild start as we've got Andrew on the softs jumping up to P1.
Good start by Andrew there. Andrew started fourth and got the lead before turn one. Oh, we got a Red Bull off in the back. That's RJP.
Oh, looks like he got spun there in turn 3.
Other than that, it's been a pretty good start by these guys.
Yeah.
Like I said, a great start by Andrew there. I completely missed that somehow.
Oh, our Kaka is falling down the order here. Not sure.
Another
It looks
Ferrari
like he
too.
lost it.
Arcock is clean on damage. RGP clean on damage. Young DJ CJ back in P18, he has his whole right side wing gone, so he's gotten into somebody. No, let's say that would have been Arcock.
Jump on board
Lap
X
one.
Bomb here. Oh, so X Bomb jumping in the pit. Must have wing damage.
Andrew's not really pulling away on them soft tires there. He needs to, if he wants to get this advantage, that's what he needs to do.
So Nels on the soft tire is taking Seagrass.
We got Renault around, Ruggle Wing around in 3.
Uh-oh.
Got right side end plate missing. So these guys have been fighting for position, making mistakes again.
Yeah, it's tough. You get eager, you wanna take a move early, but it's almost better to just kind of bide your time and wait for your opponent to make a mistake, and then you can capitalize on it. It's tough though, these first couple laps. You want to get out get going as much as you can, especially if you do have a pace advantage. But sometimes it's almost better to just be a little bit more patient and wait for things to come to you.
Yep. It is always hard to just relax on the first couple of laps because you're so close with everybody. You always want to make those spots up. As P-Dog's looking for a position or a pass on Bodot here to the outside in turn 1. As they go side by side. Oh, bit of contact. Oh, Bodot's around. Oh. No.
That's an unfortunate maneuver there.
That is very unfortunate. There was space. They raced each other clean there.
Oh.
They left the space. I guess Botthod kind of maybe hit the curb and got up into the side of P-Dog.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough, hard wheel racing, but hopefully Bodhod can recover, shake that off, and get back into the points for.
He does have no damage. As Cream Media goes around.
Oh,
everybody just having moments here. Let's say sometimes this track it can catch you out in some spots with the bumps and just the way the track goes in the elevation. It can really make the rear of the car come around.
Absolutely. We're coming around turn 16, and SRS Amram is hot on the heels of Andrew's Fresh, and he's got DRS, so we'll see if he can make a move going into turn 1 as we'll ride on board with him. And it looks like he's gotten the job done.
Easy money.
Great overtake for him.
That DRS and overtake is something we are going to see, I think, a lot of this season.
We got Kitten Petter is right on the heels of iFunder's. iFunder goes a little wide and goes off into the gravel. So Kitten Petter takes over 6th position.
Bam Bam up from P16, I think he started, up to P7. As he had a good start. Another iFunder around again.
Yeah, we've got some drivers that have been able to capitalize on some of these early mistakes. Kitten Petter's up 9 positions to P6. Bam Bam positions to P7. Porsche Power up 9 positions to P8. Gurugrux King up 9 positions as well to P9. And then Google Dougal making the most of these early mistakes, getting up all the way to P10 from last place on the grid. So
It pays to be patient when you're starting in the back sometimes.
That it does.
As Andrew has managed to fall back to P3.
I wonder with it being lap 5 and him pushing that now those softs have really started to he's losing that pace in those soft tires, and now the medium runners, their tires are wearing in a little bit more and they're able to start pulling away.
Yes. Agree with that. As
Bam Bam is on the heels of Kitten Pedder here as we come into turn 4. Both Kitten Pedder and Bam Bam on the hard tires, so interesting.
They're probably going hard and medium strategy with that.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Long run track position can be key sometimes if you can make those. If you can be fast on those hards.
Yep.
I think you can make it work out for a good result.
Absolutely.
Which they're only 10 seconds off the leader right now, so I'd say it's a pretty good gap once the drivers in front of them start pitting.
No, absolutely. They'll be able to, as they keep going here, those hards will get more and more worn in and scrubbed in, and they'll be finding faster and faster lap times as they go along. See their lap time go. Oh, as Nels overtakes RJP for P15, coming into turn 14.
Baudon making a pass on his teammate down the pit straight, looking to make up positions from that spin.
Yeah. Baudon is a man on a mission. And he's got Google Doodle in his sights.
And we got a virtual safety car.
Alright.
Don't know what that is.
It looks like Nels has DNF'd. So I don't know. He collided.
Oh, did he hit the wall coming into the pits?
It looks like he was missing a tire. I jumped onto Bomb Tree to see as he passed by, and it looks that way that the car's now gone. Yeah, the car's missing. But it looked like he was missing his front left tire, so an unfortunate early retirement for Nels.
That's got to be painful as a driver if that's what he did to hit that pit wall coming into the pits.
Yeah.
It's tricky sometimes. Some of these tracks can be.
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially if you do lose your rear end coming out of turn 15, and that chicane can really get you if you're hitting those curbs a little bit too much. Oh, his iFinder picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. So that's an unfortunate one. He'll have to serve at some point later in the race. All right, we are back to green as P-Dog capitalizes on SRS.
Andrew is in the pits on the softs to see what tire he goes to.
Okay.
Oh wait, or is he just serving a penalty? I think Andrew's serving a penalty. He didn't box.
He served his drive-through there? Okay.
Yeah, yes, Andrew did serve his drive-through.
That's unfortunate that it didn't pit him as well there, but I guess he needs to serve the drive-through first. Maybe next go around he can pit. Lap 7 seems to kind of be, lap 7, 8 seems to kind of be the ideal time to pit off of those. So we'll see as we go along. Baudon is chasing down Google Dougal, so we'll see if he can get the job done as he comes into turn 5.
I'm watching.
Oh, Rogue A-Wing.
I'll be watching Amram get the DRS run here coming down the pit straight, I would say.
Okay. Rogue A-Wing did a nice job getting the job done. Bam Bam is on the heels of Kitten Pedder, but we'll jump over to does SRS have the DRS? Looks like he's just outside the window to get DRS.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
As P-Dog puts in the fastest lap so far in the race with a 19.0. So I think those two are going to be ones to watch as the race goes on, once pit stops come through. Got Google Dougal in the pits on the medium. Andrew is in the pits again, so the Alpha Taurs will be double stacking here.
Oh dear. We'll hop over there and
Andrew will go into the mediums.
oh, that worked out. Wasn't too much of a double stack happening at least, but too much waiting anyways in the pit lane. Alright.
No.
So, as Botthot has overtaken Rum Fresh for P8.
Botthot is going to be on a mission the rest of this race.
Yep. So far, Andrew, Rogue, A-Wing, X-Bomb, Cream Media, and Young DJ have all pitted. Everybody else is still on their first stint.
Bam Bam is going to be looking to make a move on Kitten Petter.
Yeah, we're on board with him now as we enter into turn 15. He's going to have the DRS. Kitten's going to have to make his car nice and wide as we come into turn 1.
As Kitten defends the inside. Bam Bam with the DRS. And nice move.
Very nice move. Both the Racing Point driver and
Kitten Petter is under pressure by Portage Power now.
iFunner is entering the pits here. Or leaving the pits, I should say. My correction. Alright. Google Dougal looks to be the oh, we got Porridge Power on the heels of Kitten Petter as well. So Porridge having a strong race. Oh, missing the braking zone there on turn 10. He's gonna have to make some recovery.
P-Dog has managed to pull out that lead to 2.2 seconds.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive. I think Amram could also be just, you know, just keeping it easy right now, since it is just still early in the race as well.
P-Dog being a very strong contender for the Season 6 Championship. He had a very strong finish to Season 5, winning the last 2 races, if I'm not mistaken. So he, or at the very least getting podium, so he did a great job with what was a very tough AM2 field last season.
Yeah, I mean, you raced in that
Yep.
so we know how tough it was.
Yeah. So I'm currently on board with Bodhod here as he's chasing down Petter for that P6 as we've got Rogue A-Wing and Arca is from the session. So I don't know what happened there.
That is, that's in the pits, I guess.
Skills of RJP. See if he can get the job done as we enter into turn 9 and then on. But RJP has a good release and it's ahead. Bodhod's closed that gap down on Kit and Pet. Flip over there as they're on the front straight. See if Bodhod can force Kit and Petter into a mistake. But
Kitten Petter seems to start. He seems to be struggling on the hards here. He's lost quite a few. I wouldn't say quite a few, but 2 or 3 positions since VSC.
Yeah, the hard tires are the one you got to play the waiting game with a little bit, unfortunately. But we'll flip back over here as it looks like RJP is still chasing down Google Dougal. We've got. We'll hop back over to Bodhod. Coming into that back DRS straight. See if he can get Kit and Petter as we come around the 3rd sector.
I think Bodhod needs to charge up his ERS right here. That's what I'd be doing. Yeah, I think Bodhod with the DRS in the overtake.
Yeah.
As Kitten Petter is not in overtake. Oh, he ran out. He ran out of ERS just
Yeah.
before the braking zone.
So I'll have to charge it up for another go in the next couple laps. See if he can stay in the slipstream of Kitten Petter in the meantime and keep close to him. But there's a little bit of a gap forming among the top six. We've really strung out here with P-Dog really pulling away in P1 and followed by SRS Amram, Seagrass 74, 4.8 seconds back, and then Kano 4.2 back from him, and Bam Bam 2.5. So it'll be interesting to see here as we enter into the pit window for the mediums on the one-stop medium to hard strategy, and if some guys can close that gap with some strategic pitting.
Feels really got strung out here. Any takers this lap? Not yet.
Pit window is now open for those drivers choosing to qualify onto the hard tire. So the battle for P6 is currently the closest one on track, but it looks like RJP has gotten into, he's just about in the DRS range from Google, but
Alright, let's see who may pits this lap. P-Dog is in the pits. P-Dog is in the pits this lap. Amram stays out. Seagrass stays out, so Kano in.
so P-Dog, the first one to go onto the hard tires.
Hard tires, yep.
P-Dog is Kano is also in.
Kano is going onto the hard tires as well. Botthot is in onto the hards. We're looking at these fresher tires if they can manage to close the gap. Maybe gain some positions on this pit cycle.
Absolutely. So we'll hop on board. Chasing down Bam Bam.
I can't remember. Did Bam Bam start on the hard tires? I can't remember.
It looks like, yeah, so SRS hasn't pitted, Seagrass hasn't pitted. Bam Bam and Kitten Petter both started on hards. I'm getting a glitch where it looks like they've run 0 laps, but they definitely have not pit yet, so
Yes,
they're
I
gonna
got
be running
that
for a little bit
same
longer. Yeah.
glitch. And Amram is in. And P-Dog will definitely get him again right here.
So Amram is now on hard tires as Seagrass is the last to pit, so he's trying to stretch those mediums out as far as he can go.
He is. I don't think I probably would have just went ahead and pit because the gap to P-Dog is only 11 seconds.
Yep. Gru is now on the hards. Rum Fresh is also on the hards. And Google Doogles come in as well. So here we go as we begin stint number 2. We'll hop on board with Seagrass, who's leading the charge by 6.8 seconds. But that gap is slowly starting to come down, so I wonder if it might be best for him to hop into the pits here. And hopefully he can...
Amram spun. Amram spun. right before the DRS straight. He's going again though, but he just
Okay.
spun right at the DRS detection zone.
So he's gonna have to. He's got his work cut out for him now to catch back up to the net leader.
Seagrass is in, so that just leaves Bam Bam and Kitten Petter.
So we got
on that
Gru
track
and
on the hard.
Rogue A-Wing going wheel to wheel here. Rogue on the older medium tires. We'll see if Rogue can get the job done in the DRS zone, but Gru does a fantastic job holding him off.
The AMRAM is going to come out right behind Seagrass. Oh, I said it backwards. Seagrass is going to come out right in front of AMRAM. I said that backwards. My fault.
Yep. Oh, wow. Good battle here as we hop on board with AMRAM chasing down Seagrass.
Kitten Petter is closing the gap to Bam Bam. Those two still haven't pit.
Oh, young DJ retires from the session as we have a virtual safety car.
Is that somebody else who has hit the pit wall?
That
is on track.
We'll hop on board with Bam Bam here and see if we can catch it, but I don't know. As Bam Bam is jumping into the pits. Oh, is Bam Bam?
Bam Bam's hit the wall as well.
Shoot. So now he's going to have a longer pit stop with getting that front wing. Worse, could have been a lot worse for him, so good for him to, I mean, unfortunate that he's losing it there, but could have been a lot worse for Bam Bam 21.
Pit injury has been catching these people a lot here.
Alright.
We are
Interesting.
back to green.
So Bam Bam has opted for a fresh set of mediums, it looks like. Unless it's a glitch on my end, but it looks like he's opted for so he's committing to the two-stop strategy, so we'll see if that pays off for him.
I think the mediums can go the distance from here, I think.
Well, he'll have to pick because he started on the mediums. Or no, he started on the hard, sorry.
No, he started on the hard, yes.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. So he is good for that one stop. He should be able to take it to the end.
So that just leaves Kitten Petter, the 2.5 second lead right now over P-Dog.
Hop on
if
board
I'm Kitten Petter, I'm just gonna ride as hard as long as I can.
Yeah, I think if he can stretch those hards even till lap 20, then he'll be looking to be in a good spot to have some pretty fresh mediums for the end to try to catch back up. Yeah. Looking at that gap, it looks like he'd come out around P8, P7, P8, P9, somewhere in that window. So it'll be interesting to see how much pace Kitten Petter can put down and try to recover here.
Watching Botthot only a second and a tenth off Amram, and then Kano's not too far up the road from Amram, so Botthot's still gaining positions or gaining ground from his earlier spin as Kano goes around coming out of turn 2.
Oh shoot! Hopefully Kano is.
He's getting it turned around.
He's getting her turned around. He's got some wing damage, so unfortunate for Kano at turn 2. All right.
Yeah, just some of these corners here, like I said earlier, the back end will snap around whenever you might not expect it, especially coming out of turn 2 and a couple other turns in the track before the second DRS straight.
No, it's a tricky track, especially if you do have your car set up a little bit quicker, a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes you will lose your rear end, and unfortunate there. I don't know. I wasn't unfortunately riding on board. I just kind of caught it in the distance, but hopefully Kano can recover here, and he's still in the points, but he'll need to make up some ground to get back to where he was.
P4. Botthot's pushing hard to get the Amram.
What's going on? So it looks like RJP is coming up on X-Bomb. And P-Dog is closing that gap to Kitten Petter, so it'll be interesting to see when striking distance is for P-Dog to overtake P1, but he might not have to. Kitten Petter might be getting out of his way here as Kitten Petter's coming up to his pit window on those hard tires.
Kitten Petter, if he pits, he should come out P5, which would put him in a good position to score some points.
Yeah, no doubt. That would be a great job for him, especially coming all the way from P15 to get some points is a fantastic drive for him. As Kitten Petter is into the pits.
So that'll put Amram back in P3 and Bodhod in P4. So Bodhod, he'll be going for a podium here after that spin earlier. If he gets it, I know he'll be ecstatic. Still a long way to go.
Kitten Petter is on the mediums, sprinting to the end. As Google Dougal is chasing down iFunner, coming around turn 9, getting onto that back DRS straight. And it looks like he's going to be patient and to bide his time until he can get back to the front straight. Oh, as Google Dougal has spun on turn 14, turn 13, turn 14, so I don't know if he was wheel to wheel. Unfortunately, I missed that there. He has.
As we got a safety car.
So
the safety car is out.
Oh man.
Oh, this changes everything. So what is P-Dog? P-Dog is in the pits. So I'd say he would be probably on the medium tire. I'd say all these hard guys should probably pit for mediums.
Yeah, they'll need to hop back onto the mediums and then.
Well, Seagrass stays out. Seagrass stays out on the hards. Amram stays out. Bodhod is in.
Which, if Seagrass has the pace, although he is on the slower tire, him being in P1 now might be best for him because he has 12 seconds back prior to that. Here, I think P1's got to take the win. We'll have to see.
I think this plays good in the Kitten Petter's hands as well. That puts him in a great position.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's taking on the podium.
Yeah, those fresh mediums not having to pit, so it looks like SRS Amram has also opted to stay onto the hard tires. Porridge has opted to stay on the hards, and then Bodhod has gone for fresh mediums. There, who I wonder if he just got tangled up with an unfortunate spin for him.
Well, Juventus's prediction of one safety car has came true, even though we've had 2 VSCs before that. So there you go, Juventus.
Yep.
Your prediction has came true. All right. Well, now that we got the safety car in Bersey, what do you think? What do you think now? Who should we watch now?
Oh man, I think we'll stay on board with. I'm gonna probably stay on board with. Maybe we'll even stay on board with P-Dog here once the safety car restart happens, because with him being on the softer compound on those medium tires, I think he'll have a good jump, if not on the start. The first couple of corners, getting Seagrass into turn 1 through turn 4, so we'll see what happens. But I wonder if maybe is there one of the battles in the midfield that might have to flip to as well down the road. Like Bodhod, Bam Bam, and Porridge Power with Kitten Petter will be a good little duo to watch as well. Yeah. So it looks like Google Doogle's opted for the soft tires. So it's an interesting call. But he's got with 11 laps to go. But I mean, as long as the tire wear is low, he might be able to make those stretch the 10 laps that he's probably going to need once we go green.
I'm trying to hop in the chat here and see what's going on. It's gonna be interesting how Seacrest leads the field to the restart as well. If he really bunches them up, it could lead to calamity in the back with not many people, paying attention or stuff like that. These guys may not have the experience behind the safety car as some others may have.
Yeah, leading a safety car restart can be a little tricky, but as long as the lead car waits for that safety car to get into the pit lane entrance, then they're free to take off. So we'll see how much practice Seagrass has doing that, and we'll see if he can get a good catch P-Dog and SRS sleeping.
Yep. I think one more lap of the safety car, we'll be back on.
So Kano has pit for mediums, Cream Media's pit for, Kano's pit for softs, and so is Cream Media.
That's going to be 10 laps on the softs. I think they'll be good for the first, 4 or 5 laps, and I don't think they would have the pace. But fastest lap, maybe. You never know. I'm just going to say that. You never know.
Well, being on that softer compound, they should be able to, especially Kano, he might be able to, if he can make some moves, he might be able to get some points, plus secure that fastest lap, so we'll see. But as we get ready to go here, I imagine the safety car is going to be coming in shortly.
Yeah, it'll definitely be in after this lap. So we'll be going green next time. Mm-hmm. The field, everybody is caught up, so we're good.
Do you want to take a look? And I'm curious if there's any penalties here. iFunner has a collision with X-Bomb. I'm curious to see what the penalty situation looks like as we deal with the safety car restart.
So let's see here.
Safety car is coming in.
P-Dog has 3 seconds.
Okay.
Kano 3 seconds. X-Bomb 3 seconds. RJP 3 seconds. Let's see here.
SRS Amram picks up a 5-second penalty of contact with Kitten Petter. So that's unfortunate as well for him. And P-Dog collects a 5-second penalty for contact with SRS. So that really complicates things here.
7 seconds for
and we
P-Dog
are
now.
Green.
As Kitten Petter gets a great start on Amram here. Kitten Petter will be P3 before turn 1.
And P-Dog gets the move done. Great restart by P-Dog. Getting around
Great restart by
but
P-Dog and Kitten Petter.
But now P-Dog's really got to make up some ground here on the softer compound tire, because with the 5 seconds, and you said he had another 3, so he's got 8 seconds in penalties.
8 seconds, yep.
He's got his work cut out for him. As Rogue and RJP RJP goes into the grass, and Kano and iFunner scoot by. We'll hop back on board with Kitten Petter, who's chasing down Seagrass for P2.
If I looked at everything right, the only one in the top 10 with penalties is P-Dog. And Amram, I forgot about Amram picking up to 5 seconds under safety car.
Yeah.
So I think those are the only 2 with penalties in the top 10 right now.
So Kitten Petter gets a move done on Seagrass, coming 15. Bodhod is on the heels of Bam Bam, who's on the heels of SRS. As we watch this battle for P4 unfold.
P-Dog is he's pushed that lead up to 2.5 seconds already, which I think having Seagrass behind him for that first lap was pretty good for him on the harder tire, holding everybody up. But now he's really got to push because Kitten Petter is really going to be pushing to get that. Which he may not have to push though because P-Dog does have the 8 seconds of penalty.
Yeah, very true. So 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. So Bomb Tree, does he have some?
One check.
Oh, he might have a drive-through actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna check Kitten Petter's penalties real quick.
Okay. Back. Oh, Andrew is fresh. Has spun on turn 12. I wonder if he came together with iFunner or Con or Rogue.
Oh, Groove goes around. Groove goes around coming out of the chicane.
Oh, is into the points now.
Yes. Kitten Petter is one warning away from picking up a penalty.
Okay, so Kitten Petter's got to be careful here as we close out the race. Google Dougal on the soft tire picking up the fastest lap of a 1:17.8.
Okay, Gru is retired from the session in the pits. That's unfortunate for him.
That is unfortunate. He was having a strong race there.
If I'm Kitten Petter here, I'm cruising because you got Seagrass behind you on the hards.
RJP has spun, so I'm not again that same turn 4 spot. He had people on the previous, or if maybe there's some wheel contact, but unfortunate he's gonna have to recover here on those hard tires and see if he can catch back up to Andrew and iFunner with 7 laps to go. I'm gonna hop on board with Bodhod, who's on the heels of Bam Bam for P4.
Seagrass picks up a 3-second penalty.
Important for him. Also hop on board. Kano's got DRS and Rogue on the softer compound tire. We'll see if he can get the job done, and that's a great overtake by Kano to jump in P8. Rush just on the heels of Porridge Power for P6. This Bodhod looks like he got the jump done on Bam Bam there, so we'll see if Bam Bam can recover.
So what I was saying though about Kitten Petter, if I'm Kitten Petter, I'm just maintaining this gap here, keeping it nice and smooth. You got Seagrass behind you on the hard, so he's gonna be slower than Bodhod, and I might slow Bodhod down. So Kitten Petter right now is in the prime position to win this race.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic drive for him. Jumping up 13 spots. I'm interested in the chat. We'll pop into the chat here. I'd love to see your driver of the day for this race so far. Start getting our driver in.
I'll keep an eye on that for you, Birds.
Sure, thank you. Rogue is in the DRS of Kano, so we'll see if Rogue can recover and get that spot back that he lost to Kano at turn 1 the previous lap.
Bodhod now within a second of Seagrass.
Yeah, he's making up some good ground on Seagrass. And for Bodhod, he needs to get that move done as fast as possible so he can start to chase down Kitten Petter. I'm on board with SRS, who's overtaking RJP on the front straight.
Hammer him off for this.
Easy move. Oh.
Rogue Wing's retired. And
mean, it's a
another
safety car.
safety car. That is going to bring out a safety car.
Oh man.
That is terrible for P-Dog. He had that lead up to 5 seconds.
Wow.
Oh. Scenes. I'm just going to go ahead and quote Pure Blades on that. Absolute scenes.
This pick penalty the safety car, so he's got to drive through. He needs to serve. Now it's interesting to see what drivers do with this safety car. Is anybody pit? Are they willing to? I think at this point you got P-Dog with 7-lap old mediums. He's probably just gonna stay on his tires. Kitten Petter, he's probably gonna stay on his tires. So
I would say Seagrass maybe, but he, running P3, I don't think he will. I think everybody's just gonna stay where they're at right now.
X-Bomb's been disqualified. I'm not sure what happened to him there, but it looks like we've lost X-Bomb out of this race. Porridge and Kano are on fresh softs, it looks like. Cream has just come out of the pits on fresh softs. RJP has just hopped into the pits, replacing those hards for some mediums. So we've got an interesting battle. Final couple point spots here. RJP feeling like he can get.
I think it's pretty wild. Bam Bam, for me at least, has done 39 laps on his mediums. That is more than laps in the race. Same goes for Kitten Petter. He's done 36 laps.
Yeah, that's interesting.
These guys really pushing those mediums.
So P-Dog has 2 stops. Bottom has 2 stops. Andrew, Porridge, SRS, RJP with 2 stops. Kano had 4 stops, along with Cream Media. And Google Doogle's currently in the pits for his. I'm assuming that's his 4th stop. After that, and he's on the fresh softs as well. So it'll be an interesting to see here how these guys are gonna take it home with 3 laps to go in this opening AM2 race.
These last 10 laps have been wild.
Yeah, this has been some intense action. It's unfortunate we lost some drivers out of this race, but hopefully they are ready to go for next week. It's an interesting one where Bomb Tree disqualifies him. I miss what happened there. I wonder.
I think it could have been where he overtook somebody he wasn't supposed to, possibly.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's.
But
Safety car is in with 2 laps to go. Next week's track is Italy, right? I believe it's Italy.
I think so.
It's China. I think it's China, and then it's Italy.
China or Italy. As comes the safety car restart, P-Dog is gonna probably hold up Kitten Petter as much as possible because he still has 8 seconds worth of penalties that he's gonna have to manage to pull that gap off in, like, I don't know, 3 laps. Here we go. P-Dog is P-Dog. That's Kitten Petter can't pass him yet.
The Kitten Petter is side by side. Oh, that's unfortunate for P-Dog.
I'm getting too antsy for the safety car restart there.
Yeah. I think
Kitten
it's
Petter's
tough.
going hanging on the outside. And we'll maintain second right there. Bot Hot up to, he got Seagrass on the safety car restart. Bot Hot up to 3rd. So Bot Hot is going to be looking for a win here too. I don't know if these guys know that P-Dog has 8 seconds of penalties.
Oh, we have lost. Rum Fresh has spun on turn 4. Kitten Petter picks up 3 seconds.
Kitten Petter picks up 3 seconds. So Bodhod with no penalties right now. That puts Bodhod in a good position right now. Actually, that puts Bodhod in a great position.
Right on board with Bodhod here. This battle first is tight.
Kitten Petter struggling on exit because
yeah, I think how many laps had mediums. I think they should hit odds, I think, but could be wrong. Hop on board with quickly here. He looks like he's gonna on a P6. So that looks aside from the penalties, P-Dog has had a fantastic drive to this point. Dominating performance.
yeah, P-Dog's gonna be one of somebody to watch in this championship. I think he's gonna really be strong.
Yeah, Bodhod is a good contender as well. Seagrass, Bam Bam, Kitten Petter has had a fantastic race, taking advantage, being opportunistic when it counts, and he's going to be hopefully on the podium as we enter into the final lap of Grand Prix. So SRS is on the heels of Kano. See if he can get the job done with this final lap.
I think as it stands right now, P-Dog is going to probably win the race on track.
Okay.
Bodhod will probably win it on penalties. Kitten Petter P2.
Okay.
And Seagrass P4, or P3, I would say.
Okay.
As P-Dog comes out of the last chicane up to the last turn, we'll win the race on track after a dominating performance. We'll win it on track. Oh, but Bodhod picks up the win on penalties. Bam Bam P2 and Seagrass P3. I guess I missed some penalties somewhere.
Well, that's alright.
Maybe.
Wow, that was quite the finish to this race though. As we have an interesting podium, but a fantastic drive from all of our drivers this evening. Bam Bam has been given driver of the day by the game, but I'm seeing Kitten in the comments here. I'm not sure about you, DK, but I think Kitten is driver of the day.
I have to say, Kitten, driver of the day, coming up from P15, running P2 at the end of the race. Off of a great strategy. Luck with some safety cars as well, but still in the end, a good drive by Kitten.
Absolutely.
How about you say we work on getting podium in for some interviews?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to get the invite sent out there.
Here, this is bad, but I only got one of them as a friend, I believe.
Okay. And we'll work on it here then. So we have Bodhod, Bam Bam, and Seagrass are our podium finishers, followed by P-Dog, Kit, and Andrew Kano. SRS, RJP, Rum Fresh closes out the points finishers. Then Cream Media, Google Dougal, Rogue, unfortunately DNF'd, Grew, unfortunately DNF'd, Young DJ, Arkaka, Nels, and X Bomb Tree all unfortunately DNF'd. So that is our race. So we need to invite. Oh, okay. Oh, perfect.
Alrighty, we'll get everybody in the party and start off with some interviews. Let me just make sure your voice chat is shared.
Oh yeah. Should be good on my end as well, but we'll just pop in there, make sure. Okay. Alright, we have all three of the podium finishers in here.
Alrighty. You want to start us off, Brazy?
Sure, so we'll start with our P3 finisher, Seagrist.
That's all I got to say.
How's it going this evening?
Sure, man.
That's cool. Watching some TV.
Oh, watching some TV there. We got some noise in the background.
I was letting YouTube do my answer for me.
Oh,
I wake
okay.
up in the morning, piss excellence, best there ever was.
Alright.
Alrighty. We got our P2 finisher, Bam Bam. That was a great drive from you today.
Thanks. I'm not too much of a public speaker, so I'm up to keep it short, but it was a good race for me. Had a lot of fun.
No, it was good. It was a solid drive from you, and way to keep it clean to get yourself onto that podium.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Love clean racing.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. We had some wild race there with some of the virtual safety cars and those couple safety cars near the end. What were your thoughts kind of going into those final couple of laps?
Oh, well, considering I was so far behind, the safety cars actually helped me out a bit by congesting the park a bit more closer because the guys ahead of me had a few penalties, so It was good on my end, but not too much for those guys.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you know that there is penalties for the drivers ahead of you, or were you just hoping to try to
Oh
get as
yes,
close as you could?
I have a race engineer that was on board tonight that was giving me updates.
Perfect. That's awesome. Well, that was a great performance for you tonight, and we look forward to seeing you with many podium finishes throughout the season.
Thank you.
And heading over to our winner, Bodhod.
Inaugural? Is this your first win in contest of speed?
It is.
Looky there. That's what we like to
Congratulations.
see.
That was a fun one actually.
Man, you had a great drive. You had that spin midway through the race and really set you back, but you were able to put your head down and make your way back into the points. And then we had some lucky safety cars near the end there. You want to talk us kind of through that last little bit of the race?
Yeah, well, I think it was like lap 5 or 6 where me and P-Dot came together. From my point of view, he closed the door, but for like the lap before that, he was lagging a fair bit, so I'd probably put it down to that. So that was annoying. I think that dropped me right back to like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So I just decided I needed to keep my nose clean. Penalties probably be the best way for me to get positions up, and I'm not usually that good at avoiding penalties. So I'm pretty happy to end the race clean. But in terms of the end of the race and the safety cars, the first safety car didn't really help me, but the second one definitely did because I knew P-Dog had 3 seconds and it was my chance to kind of close that gap. I didn't really know like everyone who had penalties, so I just tried to push as hard as I could, but I found it really hard to follow, particularly in that flat, like that almost flat right-hander at the end of the second sector. Like the dirty air seemed to be really bad, so that was very difficult trying to close the gap, particularly at the end there. But managed to keep my nose clean anyway and got the result. So I'm pretty happy with that drive, considering how questionable my kind of race was at the start. So yeah, pretty happy.
I was pulling for you the whole time, Bodhan. The entire time.
Thank you, my former teammate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you got it. You got it. You got all my support.
It was a fun race, though. If we get that kind of quality driving up the top, then we're in for a really cracking season. There's a few really, really quick guys in here, so I'm really looking forward to the upcoming races.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be fun to watch as we get going here. So, thanks again so much for putting on a fantastic race. Is there any closing remarks or statements anybody wants to make here before we let you go?
No, I'm good.
All right. Seeger.
Nope.
All right.
That'll do
Perfect.
for me.
Awesome. Thanks
Thanks
so
for the
much.
support in chat as well, by the way. Appreciate it.
Yes. A good race too. You guys top 3.
And
Yeah, man,
Bam Bam, it looks like the chat is voting you driver of the day here. So congrats on the driver of the day.
Thank you.
Well done.
Want to put a good performance on for the crowd. So
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to seeing you compete hard, all 3 of you, next week in China. It'll be good.
okay, you guys have a good one.
Thank you. You too. DK, do you have any closing statements you want to make here before we close out for the evening?
I'm just gonna say I think we're in for a good season with these guys. P-Dog, unfortunately, on penalties, but he ran a great race. Pretty much dominated the race. So I'm gonna be looking for him to be in this race-ending party for much more races to come.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just a reminder for our viewers, we've got our European races happening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. UK time each week. So that's Tier 3 on Mondays, Tier 2 on Tuesdays, Tier 1 on Wednesdays, and then our brand new Tier 4 on Thursdays. So tomorrow you can catch Tier 1 action at 10 p.m. UK time. And then following our Wednesday evening will be our American Tier 1 drivers at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where you can catch DK and myself, as Perry the Dog, and many others battling it out.
Bodhod commentating as well.
Yeah, Bodhod, Kitten Petter, and Kano should be on the comps for that one, so look forward for that to be a competitive race. It's a very quick top end of that tier, so it makes our lives a little bit tough, but it'll be good. But Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Burzy J and DK88 Amp, and signing off.